All right, everyone, can you all hear me? All right, awesome.
Good.
Let's take a little bit of getting used to here. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it here. We have a quick session for you. So my name is Rick Tam-Daniels, Senior Director with Informatica, responsible for our strategic ecosystems. So I do a lot of work with partners like Tableau and how Informatica's technology brings some key solutions to market to help make your lives easier. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes just about this first of all, legalese, safe harbor. There's some things you're going to see here that are not yet GA product, or things that looking at the future to give you an idea of what's coming. So please don't hold us to that too much, etc. All right. Okay, so the topic of today's session is achieving analytics nirvana with a data catalog. So the first step, and I think understanding what we mean by that is, well, what are the barriers that you encounter today to achieving that nirvana state? And I think the first one we think of is just finding data you need for your different analytics exercises. And I'm sure many of you work in enterprises with at least dozens, if not hundreds, of data sources that you want to tap into from an analytics perspective, right? The challenge becomes, well, how do you find the right data you need when you need it? And it's a pain point for a lot of folks. Second pain point is, okay, let's say you're lucky enough to find the data. How do you know it's the right data? How do you trust it? How do you know it's reliable, it's good quality, where it came from, that sort of thing? And the third is, okay, you found it, you trust it, how do you actually get it to Tableau, right? That's usually that last mile that becomes even harder. There's a lot of other folks in the enterprise that may be involved in that process of actually getting you the data. So enter our solution to address this, what we call the Enterprise Data Catalog, or EDC for short. Think of this as Google for your enterprise data assets. And we chose the Google search metaphor because it's so accessible, it's so easy to use. All these different personas are able to tap into a catalog of information that exists within the enterprise. And to just give you a highlight, some of the key features of EDC, one of the big ones is, okay, first of all, I've got to find this data, right? That's the big challenge. So we've got to have broad connectivity to a variety of different data sources that live out in your enterprise. We also not only look at what data is out there, but actually how it's all connected, right? How data flows from system to system, who depends on it, who uses it, to give you this broad perspective of what your data universe looks like. And then providing that semantic search, intuitive search on top of this base of information. I'm going to flash up a little eye chart here for you guys, but if you want to learn more, feel free to come by and see us. We'll go through it. But just to give you a flavor of what we're talking about when we talk about your enterprise data landscape, right? So we've got structured data, we've got unstructured data, we've got different ETL platforms, not just Informatica, but other third parties as well, to try to provide you the most comprehensive view of your data landscape as possible. The other big thing we do is, it's great to be able to say, well, I've got hundreds of data sources, I put them in a catalog, I can search them, but as we all know, how many table names actually make sense to a human being? How many column names make sense, right? So if you don't even know what they're called, right? So you want to be able to look for data in terms of what it means to the business, right? So one of the big things that we invest heavily in is using machine learning and artificial intelligence to automatically classify the data that we discover. So we automatically classify and say, okay, this is customer data, this is product data, it's supplier data, and enable you to search by those data domains rather than having to understand what physically the data looks like. So it's a huge accelerator when it comes to addressing that finding data challenge. We also use AI to help recommend similar data sets. You may be in a situation where you think you found what you want, but it's not quite right. Are there 10 other data sets out there that might be better for me? Can I find that? We use machine learning to recommend and surface those recommendations to you. I also want to emphasize, a lot of folks don't tend to think of Informatica in the unstructured data space, but we've invested a lot here to bring that same domain intelligence, that same enrichment to unstructured data. So human-created textual data, be able to do text analytics to, again, enrich it so you can find those data elements wherever they are, whether it's structured or unstructured in the enterprise. The last point I want to make before I turn over to Quan to actually show you guys a demo is we've also focused very much saying, well, look, these capabilities are great, but we want to take this experience of using a catalog and make it something that's day-to-day for Tableau users. Right? We want to embed it into your day-to-day routine, so put this data and this power at your fingertips. And so we've had an extension for Tableau Server for a while in the market that provides you contextual information about where data came from and the lineage. What Quan's going to demo for you is kind of the next evolution of that, which is actually a Tableau extension for both desktop and server, where you not only can find data, but you can actually provision it as well, using our data integration technology in a seamless experience. So the whole idea being that you can find data, you can get intelligence about data, you can understand if it's trusted or not, and you can get it to Tableau Server using Hyper, and be able to have this closed loop all from the desktop. So we're really trying to bring that power, the breadth and depth of the enterprise to the Tableau user. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kwan, who will take you through a demo.
All right, thanks, Rick. So you guys can hear me? Thumbs up? Thank you. I got your endorsement before I even started. Let me switch over to the demo environment. Now, I know some of you have been to our booth, play with our data treasure hunt, so you get some experience with our product, a little teaser. So in my presentation here, I would take you to the next step down into EDC. I'll show a series of demos, 3 demos. And the first demo is about the core EDC capability, right? And it show off the things that Rick just talked about with the AI, Clear Engine. And next thing is our EDC plugin that which is available today into Tableau. So how to give contextual information on your dashboard. And the third demo is, I'm going to give you a sneak preview of what we are thinking about, what we are doing. Something we'll be delivering very soon with EDC extension for Tableau. Sounds good? So, are you guys having fun here? These are some pictures that happen in a headshot. I think some of you might be here. You raise your hand. I had fun too. Here's my headshot. Pretty cool. So I'm a product manager for EDC. This is my third product for metadata and data catalog. Data catalog is a new name for data metadata catalog, right? For metadata management. Anyways, so I'm very passionate about it. Just like you are, you guys are passionate about analytics. And analytics is nothing without data, right? True, we all need data. So, well, EDC is really delicious in a sense. It is the glue. The catalog is actually the glue between data and analytics, believe it or not, right? Now, I'm really excited about EDC because it's really a third generation product that we can leverage the big data technology, AI, and ML, just like you do with data science, right? For advanced analytics, that's where the world is going. So to make it very simple, the key thing is we start with a search. There's nothing simpler than a Google search, right? That's the easiest experience. No matter whether you are analysts, data stewards, or data scientists, right? What you really want to do is be able to find, understand, and access the data. So who here had issue, raise your hand, with finding data, understanding data, and accessing the data for Tableau? Just raise your hand. Pretty much everybody, right? So you can understand why catalog is really essential for doing any kind of analytics. If you don't, you should be checking us out at booth 1105, okay? Let's get started. So the Wi-Fi is not good here, so I had to be a little creative. So this first demo will take you through the core EDC product itself, right? So this will give you a high-level overview of what it can do. So let's say we start, right? I'm looking for customer master information. So I'm going to type in customer master information right here. Just a search, right? Really, truly, it's a Google search experience. So everyone is familiar with. So I'm looking for customer master. Click on it. All right. So it comes back with a search result. Now, this screen should look very familiar to all of you, right? This looks like Amazon's shopping experience. In this case, they're shopping for data, right? Any data assets that we might brought into the EDC catalog itself. Now, let me look at more detail right here, right? It shows more detail regarding customer master. In this case, there's three boxes out there. What are those yellow boxes? EDC is smart enough to go and discover the business entity within that table. In this case, it discovered location information, customer information, and person. Those are business entity semantics, right? So it's intelligent to discover all that stuff. If you have questions how we do it, stop by the booth, I can explain everything to you. So let's dive in. Let's go into detail. Let's look at this table itself. So what you see up there is not need a technical name. You can associate with business term or any name, give it a name so that anybody could understand, so it's searchable, right? It's a description. You can put pictures on it, and it gives you a sampling of a column, right? Now, notice what's really important here is that we discover at the data element level, the business semantics automatically, right? And this is all the information you can see on the screen. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on this one. it tells you it was actually discovered by the system, right? All right, I'm gonna go right into it. Come on. Takes a while. So I'm going to the column level detail. So not only does it discover a few columns, it discovers the domain for all the columns. It gives the idea, the quality of the data, what's now, what's distinct. Those information are really important to you as a data scientist, right? And we also infer the data type, besides the technical data type from the source system itself. So we know if, let's say we have a string, it could be all numbers, let's say it's a number column, right? So let's take advantage of what I called just now, the entity that was discovered. For instance, I'm interested in columns to do with customer, right? I can easily filter it. So I do is just click on this filter. It filters for me all the data elements that has to do with country. That's what defines a country, a customer. And that is customizable. It's not static, it's customizable. All right, I can do the same thing with person, right there. Right? So next thing I like to do is show you where the data came from. It's very important. It's good to know about your data, the quality data, the semantics, but that's not enough. You need to know where it actually came from. That's where lineage and impact helps. So right here, say it's rolling. So it gives you a high level, right? In this case, where the data is going, right? Customer is going to a number of places, the Tableau resources and so forth, at a high level. You get a good idea. But what we have done with this innovation, we have combined the lineage and impact, whether it's coming from, whether it is going to. Let's play with that. It's really easy. Point and click, right? So this knobs right here, not sure you can see, it says lineage, up here, or it's impact. So I'm gonna click on this. See the diagram just expanded? I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I can keep on expanding it. I discovered that actually the data came from Oracle CRM. That's good. It came from my application system, right? So that's good. I trust it. Not from Rick's source. So let's look at lineage. See the where it's going, right? I can expand it further. So now I want to watch one more thing. Pay attention. Keep your eyes on one thing right here. All these are technical names. Where are the business name, right? Now, if it's been tagged with business names or business terms, I can actually turn it on. So focus your eyes right here. Don't miss it. I'm going to click on that data dictionary. See that? Right there. The customer name is the textual information description, business name for those the technical objects or table names. Next, I'd like to do is show you the relationship. Now, in MDM, you guys understand there's a 360 relationship around data, master data. Why don't we do the same thing around data as well, or data asset? So we actually did, right? So in this case, what you see in the diagram here is at the center is the customer master table, right? And I can look all the related tables. It's like 1 degree separation away, like LinkedIn kind of thing, right? So I'm going to click into it and look at tables related to it. A lot of times when you do analytics, you're really interested what other information can I be using, data science can be using. Let's close up. And all these are interactive. You can click right into it. So it's not a pretty diagram. And all the semantics related to this particular data source itself, right? And next thing I like to do is, a lot of times in data science, you're looking for one specific critical data element. You don't know the table, you don't know the name of anything, but say, I'm looking for, in this example, I'm going to look for email. Tell me where it exists everywhere, right? Discover for me that needle in a haystack, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to here, search box. I'm going to type in, right here, tables with email. See that? Tables with email. That easy, right? So let's do that. So it goes out and discover lots of tables with email, right? So notice the name, the table may not be named email, right? So let's dive into it. So I can do some faceting right here. Since it's been tagged as been trusted. By the way, the tagging on the right-hand side, the facets on the, actually on the left-hand side, is dynamic. Dynamic based on a search result. It's not a dumb facet. Anyways, I'm going to click on this guy here. Listen to the top. I'm interested in it. Let's take a look. Let's see what it can do, right? All right, it has some sample data, right? Show column. Doesn't look like anything to do with email. So I might be in the wrong place, but let's explore a little further. Let's look at all the columns. Notice one thing. What EDC has done with AI, what we've done is we have tagged it, say, hey, this contains customer email. But field number 8, the name is not email, but we discover it. Let's go into details. Let's look in the data, make sure that that's what it is. That's good. I'm diving into this particular column. Now what we have done is actually profile all the data, because what you're seeing right now is the profiling results, right? You see total number of rows, 179, and it gives you a sense of the values and frequency of the data itself. This is good. I'm going to scroll further down. And it's also give you the data pattern distribution, right? In this case, look very careful. A lot of them might be null, others and so forth, but look, it has this @ sign kind of thing. Looks like, it could be an email, right? So we can discover all that. So that's the magic behind it, right? So let's look in the email. Let's say I'm looking for, remember the original question? I'm looking for email across my enterprise. I don't care what, right? It could be your critical data element, whatever that might be for you. So I'm going to click on email. So here it is, right? Couple of clicks, it tells me where your email might exist. In this case, it's in this particular column, and notice one thing's really interesting here. We go in and discover email in your unstructured document, right? It could be your PDF, your Word document. It could be, CSV file, whatever it might be, right? Any of Microsoft documents, we search into those, right? So anyways, and then it says somehow rejected. I might disagree, I might accept it, right? So now it's part of my list right there. So fairly straightforward. Now,
Sure. Asking to pause.
I'm going to switch gear and go into the next demo.
1 second. So I guess they're having some kind of technical difficulty. He asked us for pause for a minute, just so
Yeah.
they can straighten it out, I guess, with the cords or something. So he asked us to pause for a minute. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
So we'll take a pause. I've been talking for 15 minutes, so.
Yeah, actually, any quick questions while they're...
You okay?
Okay.
What's it? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. I don't know.
They can hear me. They can see the screen.
Yeah, he asked me about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
We all set?
So this next demo, I'm going to show you the EDC plugin for Tableau, right? Basically, inside your dashboard, I want to show the catalog contextual information. So what you can do is actually, if you have EDC, you go into the Chrome application store and download the plugin for your Chrome browser. So I'm going to switch to that, and I'm going to do that fairly quickly. I think I'm running out of time, but right now it's in my whiz right here. I click on it, I open it up, and with the browser extension, you see a little up right here, I'm going to click on it, and it gives you all the contextual information regarding this whiz right here. This happens to be the public data. It has a lot of terms right here, right? And I need to know the definition. So what I can do is I can look at one of this stuff here. Let's go down and take a look, right? It tells you the people and where the data actually came from. You know how we do that? Data lineage, right? You saw those demo earlier. So it's surfacing information from EDC, and right now I'm interested in the definition of this particular term, and I can just point and click and get to it, right? Now let me go backwards. And what I'm really interested in is looking at the data itself. So it gives information, the description, the sample data, in a small font, in a small footprint, right? And let's say I'm really interested in information, more information regarding this particular report itself. I can launch into, right here in a lineage, launch into EDC. So you're getting seamlessly from where you are into the bigger set of capability. The lineage diagram you saw earlier, you can see where the data is coming from. In this case, it's coming from this particular table. And you can go in there and further explore into this particular table. So you get an idea, right? So the next thing I want to do is show you what we're working on is the EDC extension for Tableau. So what's really nice about it, you can work it within your desktop or it could be on your server or online. So with the extension, we can really leverage what it can do and integrate EDC into it. Now, it's not just integrating, it will do something more. It allows you to access the data itself, right? So let's go down to the demo itself. How much time do I have? All right, let's say you're on the dashboard, right? The next thing you want to do is go to the extension library itself and download it, right? Into your desktop, the TRX file is saved on the desktop, and you pick up your extension right here. And basically then what you do is you do some configuration, right? At this point, what you're doing is really give me your connection information into EDC, your credentials in EDC. And with that, it surfaces the metadata or catalog information for this particular dashboard, or the worksheets and so forth here. You see that it's sales quality report. Now it has the ratings, it's been certified, and it has all the information, review information regarding this particular report, right? So I can look at this report and say, hey, this report looks good, and you can then ask questions, right? You say, hey, can I trust this data? Or you can ask questions, and your data steward will be responding to you, or within your environment, right? So next thing I'd like to do is, let's say you're looking at this particular report itself, right? And what you're interested to do is actually creating additional, dashboard based on the information that you have here, right? So in this case, I'm looking at the account information, and I'm not sure it's that good, so I'm going to go look at the master account information right here, right? It looks like it's much better, has better, less null, right? It has good rating, and let's assume for now I need this piece of information. I'm really interested. I want to do a data provisioning of it, right? I want to get access to the data. So if I click right here, right, and you provide some credentials right here for accessing the data. The next thing is this, what is doing, it pushed the data up from EDC to your Tableau server, right? And from there, what you can do is synchronize it.
I can't hear anymore.
Oh. You synchronize it with the new data number. Can you hear me? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, it synchronizes with the server onto your desktop. So I'm going to update it. So I have access to the data. And at this point, what I've done is, with a few more clicks, you guys are expert in creating your worksheet. Now you can continue with what you're doing, right? So, so you have options of easily using similar data to create additional widths, right? Thank you. You want to finish up?
Yeah, I think, one of the things also you just saw in the demo here, I think it's kind of interesting, is that magic of clicking that button. Informatica is pretty uniquely positioned to do that, because we call it integration platform as a service. Right, so we have a fully cloud-native service to do data integration, data movement, and so you basically are behind the scenes creating a mapping to move the data from the source to target. And if you came back later, you could go actually log into that environment and do more complex transformations as well from that perspective. So the nice thing is we're able to tie together the catalog to the actual data provisioning and data access experience, and basically closing that loop between the finding data, verifying the data, and actually getting the data. So we go to the quick wrap-up slide. So a couple things that if you guys want to learn more, we have a booth that's basically on the other side of that big video cube thing over there. We have a really cool interactive game, so you can get hands-on with the data catalog and get entered to win a really cool drone. So come by, check that out. There is a workshop, hands-on workshop tomorrow. I think it's sold out right now, but definitely get on the waiting list if you're not on it already. And then also, if you want to meet one-on-one, we're happy to show you a more in-depth demo of what you saw here from the Tableau integration as well as the product. So please come see us, and thank you all so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thank you.